The Crown returns, and we are breaking down fact and fiction with author Christopher Anderson.
The ghost of Diana, who appears to Charles in one scene after her death, the ghost of Dodi, who appears to his father. They have these heartfelt conversations. I thought it was, quite cringeworthy. It was unnecessary, and wish they hadn't done it.
Plus, Prince Harry calls King Charles for his birthday, as a new book suggests he was kept in the dark over Queen Elizabeth's death. Plus, Princess Kate makes a surprise appearance while Meghan Markle steps out on the red carpet. We've got that plus so much more in today's Royally Us. Hey everyone, I'm Christina, and that's Christine, and welcome to, rightfully so, a big week of royal news. The Crown is back. We've got the royals stepping out in London, all over the place, in California, and so it's been a lot going on this week, Christine.
I love that the stories this week are like part real life royals, part fictional royals. Although I guess they're real life royals still, but fictionalized. There's a lot to talk about.
A lot to talk about. So let's kick off the news of the week with the Princess of Wales joining Prince William in welcoming the President of South Korea and his wife to the UK for their state visit. After meeting the presidential couple at their hotel, the foursome made their way to Horse Guards Parade in London, where they joined King Charles and Queen Camilla for the ceremonial welcome. We got a curtsy from Princess Kate, which everybody always loves to see.
This was, royals on parade, literally, but everyone looked incredibly regal. The Princess of Wales wore the most incredible bright red cape with a beautiful hat. And I just love events like these official state visits. We might have a state banquet to look forward to, which means tiaras. And it's just royals really at their finest. We get to sort of enjoy that fairy tale royalty vision that we all really know and love.
Definitely. It's been a nonstop party over the past week because Prince William and Princess Kate partied the night away while celebrating King Charles's birthday. They were in a good mood as they were photographed leaving the festivities at Clarence House. Last week, she wore an emerald gown complete with sequins, while William wore a white shirt and black blazer, and his 75th birthday was an event fit for a king and was attended by Queen Camilla, Princess Beatrice, Princess Margaret's daughter, and Princess Anne's daughters as well. So it was definitely a fitting party. I guess Harry maybe didn't get that invite or got the invite and chose not to come. We still don't know, but it seems like it was a great party.
I love when we've seen several times the whole family getting together for big birthdays, big anniversaries, and privately, we only sort of see these photos of them coming and going. Everyone's trying to sort of lay low because it is just a family celebration. Yes. And I think it's really nice to see all the family coming together. So many family members, like we said, Lady Sarah Chatto, sort of distant relatives still all coming together, showing that they really are. They're the royal family, but they're still a family. And I think that's really nice. I love to see this. Good question on Harry. It is a long flight for one party.
It is. Right.
It was still really nice to see them all getting together.
It really was. I'm sure we'll talk a little bit more about the birthday message a little bit later on, but we know that William and Kate sent their birthday wishes on social media wishing His Majesty the King a very happy 75th birthday, and they posted photos of Charles and William on their account, so it was really nice. And in addition, the Wales have been very, very busy. She made a surprise appearance on the BBC to open their annual Children in Need telethon. Since it began in 1980, the broadcast has raised over $1 billion for disadvantaged youth in the UK. And speaking directly to camera, Princess Kate, said she was delighted that she was invited to kick off the festivities. Take a look.
Our relationships, surroundings, and experiences during the earliest years lay the foundations that shape the rest of our lives.
I love this. What did you make of this?
This is a huge fundraising event throughout the UK every year. It's really nationwide, and it's a really, really popular event. So I loved seeing her participate in this. It fits in so nicely with her early childhood foundation, with the Shaping Us campaign, and just sort of raising awareness and getting her, for the Princess of Wales to become more associated with childhood, with, improving the lives of children. It just fits in perfectly with her work. So I loved it. It was so cute. Her little shirt had rainbows on it. I thought it was a great moment for her.
I'm sure that shirt has already sold out, I would imagine. Well, the Prince of Wales visited Manchester and unveiled a new project to inject around $130,000 to support an initiative that is focused on reducing the rates of violence among the young in the northwest English city. So the money for Manchester pieced together alliance to provide positive opportunities for young people and reduce youth violence comes from the Royal Foundation that Prince William shares with Princess Kate, coupled with a donation from the office of the city's mayor, Andy Burnham. It will help the private sector to create the Alliance's first dedicated employment, skills, and training program for young people at risk of violence, and it is the latest effort from the Royals to create long-lasting term benefits from their involvement in an area, and the third time that they have made donations to the community. So another great way to give back to the community, and something that William is also very passionate about.
Yeah, and this is a tangible effort. Usually royal visits are about raising awareness, thanking staff and volunteers, learning more about these organizations, and also connecting different organizations. But this time, when you bring a lump sum of cash to inject into these communities, that's really tangible change that the Royal Foundation, the Prince and Princess of Wales are trying to do more of, really those really tangible changes.
Totally. All right, we got a lot of tea to spill, so let's get right to it. And Prince Harry and Meghan, as we know, as we said, they did not attend King Charles's 75th birthday, but they celebrated the occasion in another way. So a source told Us Weekly that Harry and Meghan called his father for his birthday. It was a big step towards healing their relationship after harboring such animosity towards one another. It felt great to get back to being family and cordial with each other. Charles also received a video of Lily and Archie singing him happy birthday, and it made his day. Charles has missed speaking to his grandkids as well as Meghan and Harry. Holding on to this grudge hasn't been something that's been good for either side, and they are all looking forward to a future and better relationship as a family. We really hope so. I mean, we are tired of talking about this.
I think is it true? Is it not true? We talk about this a little bit more later in the show. The answer is we are really tired of talking about this, and we want them to be happy and get along.
Yes, exactly. And you know what? It's so great for the grandkids to have obviously a relationship with their grandfather. So hopefully that this was a nice birthday message and celebration, and hopefully this was an olive branch and we can get back on track. But only time will tell. But this was fun. Meghan Markle stepped out on a red carpet. We don't see this very often. And she was just as surprised by Suits' newfound popularity as the rest of us. She weighed in on the show's streaming success during an interview on the red carpet at Variety's Power of Women event, saying, "It's hard to find a show you can binge watch that many episodes of these days. So that could have something to do with it." I'm pretty sure Meghan being in it has something to do with it. But she also added that good shows are everlasting. She said it was great to work on, such a great cast and crew, and they had a really fun time. But yes, I watched it to see Meghan. I know it's a good show, but I watched some of it to see Meghan.
I have to say there's a lot of projects where just because she was a part of them, they are highly criticized. Yeah. And this isn't one of them. People really like Suits. They really enjoy people. You could watch Meghan in just a few episodes. You don't have to binge watch all 8 seasons. So I think that is a testament to it being a great show and a really good project that she was a part of.
Totally. Well, we're getting a little bit more insight from Tyler Perry about how he offered up his home following Meghan and Harry's exit from the royal family. He told Kelly Ripa on her podcast, "I sent them a note and just said, if you ever need anything, I'm here." And she called months later and just talked to me like I was a therapist you talked to, and we just had a great conversation. He added that he wanted to assist the couple during a difficult time as they made that transition. And he welcomed the couple and their son, Archie, into their home, into his $18 million mansion in Beverly Hills. He said, "They hid out of my house for a long time. It was so great. They were so happy. It was such a beautiful moment." So they spent about 6 weeks at his home. Then they bought their $14 million home in Montecito. They welcomed their daughter, Lily, who, of course, is Tyler Perry's goddaughter. And he said that he calls her Little Lily and said, "Oh, she's so beautiful. She's just so beautiful. They make beautiful babies. That's all I'll say." So that's nice. I mean, it's nice to have friends with $18 million homes in Beverly Hills.
I mean, there are worse places to have to stay when you're crashing at your friend's place.
Right? Seriously. But it seems like, it was nice. He actually reached out to them. He said before they even decided to make it public that they were going to exit the royal family, I guess he saw that they were struggling and wanted to reach out and be a friend. So it seemed like he was there in just the time that they needed him. So that was nice. Okay, so moving on. So everybody is looking forward to Omid Scobie's upcoming book, Endgame. And he writes in it that Harry and Meghan were kind of kept in the dark about Queen Elizabeth's health before her death. So in an excerpt published by People magazine, Harry had no idea that Buckingham Palace was already planning for the Queen's final hours and the first days of the monarchy's new era before receiving a call from his father. So during that phone call, Harry was informed to make his way to Scotland immediately. He was spotted arriving in Scotland hours after the death had officially been announced, and he received no response when attempting to connect with his brother, Prince William, about possible travel plans. He was left completely by himself while his family members already had their flight secured. He wrote, Omid wrote that with no invite forthcoming from any of the family members, Harry eventually located an available option, a private charter, and he was able to get there. And he, however, still had no idea what was going on when his own plane finally took off. News of the Queen's death went public before Harry's plane had landed, and he actually got a text from Meghan about her passing. So it seems like this book is definitely going to dive into those strained relationships even more. And, you know, how Meghan wanted to be there with Harry. King Charles said no at the time because it was protocol. So it seems like that we're going to definitely get into this strain a little bit more.
Yeah, I think, people do a lot of strange things in times of grief. This is a really, personal, sensitive story to be, leaking as your first excerpt. Yeah. But it definitely tells me that Omid, yet again, has some really, really key details that, maybe can only come from one place.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you. All right. Well, like we said before, everybody is talking about The Crown. They released the first 4 episodes of the final season. And of course, it dives into Princess Diana's a tragic death. So we are going to break it all down. What is fact? What is fiction? With our friend and royal author, Christopher Anderson. Take a look. Right off the bat, what was your initial reaction to this, the first part of the last series?
I'm a great fan of The Crown, of course, but I have to say this was particularly disappointing. And because this is an area where I have some expertise, having written the day Diana died, having in the immediate aftermath of Diana's death gone to London and interviewed the doctor who treated her in the tunnel and friends of the driver and Dodie and all the nurses who handled her when she arrived at the hospital and treated her. And there are so many dramatic moments that aren't included. I mean, this is one of the things that television producers occasionally do. They create composite characters or they go off in a different direction. Here, all they had to do really was to convey the drama of the moment. And the impact it had on the world really was to just report the facts, and that wasn't done. And so I felt that it missed that kind of spark, because on top of everything else, this is really a kind of a thriller, if you will. It's an action-packed, fast-paced piece of history, and that was not conveyed. And I know why. I'm sure that there was a feeling that no one wanted to dwell too much on the catastrophe itself, to look as if they were capitalizing on the death of this woman and the gruesome aspects of the accident and whatnot. But I think they went too far in the other direction. So it just took all the spark and life out of what is quite a moving and dynamic story.
Looking back to earlier in the show, an earlier plot point is obviously Dodie and Diana's relationship, but a lot of people are taking issue with how they got together. Was it portrayed accurately? What do you make of that?
Well, one of the things, Dodie's character is he's portrayed as a kind of a hapless, tool of his father's ambition. And no, Dodie was not that. I mean, yes, Dodie was called the boy by his handlers, but he was part and parcel of this. He was very ambitious. He certainly didn't have to be talked into, trying to seduce Diana by his father. He was very interested in that as a trophy. I don't think there was ever a conversation between Diana and William in which she said she did not, in which she was even asked by William if she intended to marry Dodie. I mean, it was clear that she was telling her friends, Rosa Monk and other people on the phone, that she had no intention of marrying Dodie, that she needed another marriage like a bad rash on my face, she said. But that conversation between her and William certainly never happened. And the ghosts, the ghost of Diana who appears to Charles in one scene, after her death, the ghost of Dodi, who appears to his father. And they have these heartfelt conversations. I thought it was, quite cringeworthy. It was unnecessary, and wish they hadn't done it.
We don't know exactly how the boys reacted after they found out the news, but it does imply that William kind of left Balmoral for 14 hours. They couldn't find him. Don't believe that.
Again, I have to say, every time you're hitting on everything that I was turning to my wife and saying, what? Made up. No, he didn't. I mean, yes, there were times when he felt that he did say later on that Balmoral was a place of with the wilderness and the isolation and all of that. He did have commune with nature in that sense, and it was it was a place to be reflective at a horrible time for him. But no, to disappear for 14 hours, I'm unaware of that.
All right. Yes. Much watched television. It's sparking conversation, whether you like it or whether you don't. We certainly had a lot to say about it. But before we wrap up, let's get into our pint-sized palace and Meghan Markle on that red carpet at Variety's event. Talks about her holiday traditions, saying that they are creating some new holiday traditions with her family, with their kids. And I mean, stars are just like us, I guess.
I know. Yeah, this was a really sweet sort of soundbite from her sharing that, they're decorating the tree.
Yep.
And it's nice that, holidays are really sort of unifying. Everyone decorates a tree. If you celebrate Christmas,
Right.
all of us decorate a tree. We all exchange gifts, whether you're a very, very normal person from, the middle of nowhere in America, or you're the Duchess of Sussex.
Right. So yes, everybody does the same things. I'm sure I would love to see what Christmas morning looks like in that household, though. I'm sure it's definitely over the top and a lot of fun. Well, Christine, thank you so much. What a big week. I would love to know what everybody has their thoughts on The Crown. Did you like it? Did you not? What do you think that was missed? Do you think that they were respectful? A lot of questions. So please let us know in the comments, and we will see you guys next week. For more news content and exclusive interviews, make sure to hit the sub, like, and bell button down below and visit usmagazine.com.